you're not a billionaire, you don't have $100 billion, but yet you are still giving. Your legacy is very clear. So how do you advise people? How do they go ahead to give? And how do they retain a legacy of giving? 2 questions.
First of all, there's this saying that the more you give, the more you receive. That's the law of karma. If you are passionate in helping people without not thinking of receiving, there's just no way the Creator will not remember you. And the issue of giving must not be cash. Men talking to people, taking them out of their problem. Not necessarily cash. There are a lot of people outside there who need to be talked to. And that's just enough for them. And their life will never be the same. As I said, I spoke at our conference last, it was this month of May, and I was able to talk to some students, young professionals, and they were so happy that their past president at that ladder came down low to their level and addressed them. There were some group of students, oh, from which school, sir? We want to see you. We want to have a word with you. What I did was not just talking to them. I was just, some of those who have made it in the profession. Hey, Charles, come here. You are a developer. Talk to them about development. That 5 minutes discussion. Oh, you are evaluation experts. Come and talk to them how you do your evaluation. You know, so I know that the more you give, it's individual thing, but when you give, don't expect any return. Don't say, I want to give because I want to get. No. Give freely and happily. And you must not, you see, when you give, for me, I give painfully. I can decide to look for something in an attempt to assist you. I'll go and look for that thing to give to you. Because I know I'll be able to recover that from that, whatever I've taken from that person. So just be God-fearing. Just try, do something. Touch, make people happy. In NIPS, most of my colleagues there, they know that. I usually tell them that when people are happy, I am happy. So whatever I can do to make people happy, I will do it. Again, it's not necessarily cash. Talking to people, giving them ideas, as I just said, ideas rule the world. When you give people ideas, no, you can do this, you can do that. The little support. So I believe that it's good to give.
That's amazing. That's deep. That's like so searching.
I have a foundation right now. John Bulamani Foundation. Much. Maybe all what she's selling is not much. Maybe all what she's selling is not even more than 10,000 naira.
Those are the acts of kindness that actually make us who we are.
That's it.
We are not all about profits. That's, you make a reference to when you talk to entrepreneurs, running some courses globally. And I know when we say the soul of business is to just make profits. So I'll ask you, since you are my Superman here now, like literally you are doing, you are doing a lot at the same time. So how do we grow impact beyond profits? So as an entrepreneur, I just want money. He has given a very valid example of constantly giving back without expecting. It doesn't have to be. He answered that question without how big or how small. He answered it. It doesn't have to be really, really, really big. So how do we get to do impact as entrepreneurs without beyond profits?
You see, a paradigm has to shift. And I'm looking at the religious circle. From what they have said so far, most times if I want to talk to people and say, there are 3 people I don't like to advise. The churchgoers. Because any little thing, they will call on God. Whereas God has set up a template that in all things seek wisdom. People that believe so much in themselves. People that read, they always refer to the rich people. The rich people assume that, so you know too much and you're not as rich as I am.
Well, you're rich.
I'm not rich. No, I'm just
no.
I'm just being. You see, the truth of it all is this: I have never seen money as an intrinsic factor in any business I've been doing. One of the things I've seen as an intrinsic factor is wealth creation. How do I take away poverty from the society? Taking away poverty from the society goes beyond. Let me cite some instances to you. Before I was 40, I was a God when I wanted to pick either to relocate from this country when I was leaving my paid job then, or to remain in this country. And every entrepreneurs are faced with the following challenges: government, community, and workers in terms of pay frame. So, however, because your focus
is on impact beyond profits,
my own is I will do, because amongst 10 people, you have the right people that will tap into and expand their horizon beyond that material gain. And that's what I've been doing. So what do we do? It's not the profit. In this sector, I mean, we've been able to empower in terms of knowledge, in terms of standalone empowerment. And that's as I move to the religious circle. That is where government, individual needs to focus attention on right now. How? Today, what stops us? Because it will in a long run bring in more inflow into the church revenue. Now, and I don't want to go deep into that. If you empower with empowerment scheme, that shows that skills acquisition, you are the producer, you are the off-takers. We can marry ourselves down in the same church institution so that you make money. So those are the areas I've seen that aside profit, and that's been my last phase now to say, come to drop this money. So anytime I see them talking about expenses or social, because churches are very good in terms of social aspect, can't we start thinking about the population of the 80% that are inside that poverty line? Can we take 10% away?
You did it again. Why I'm saying it is because you have a vast wealth of experience. You've spoken about the impact, social impact, how to solve it without saying too much words. Parting short from you now, I'll allow you in 1 minute to say something to us. I'll allow you to, but I'll say one thing or just remember 2 songs to guide what you are going to use as your parting words to encourage our people. Jaguar, my belly, my head, because of austerity, you want to check out. In fact, that checkout takes me to Andrew, no checkout to Nigeria, yes. Go survive. Andrew don't go, we know. Andrew children are now trying to come back because they don't have the identity. You ask them, what's your name? My name is Eberechi. He say, wait a minute, that one. They want to come back. Parting words from you. What do you advise to people that are trying to make it, especially the younger ones, so below 40? What do you think they should do? How should they go about it?
First of all, in everything you do, you must plan. You must look at the feasibility and viability of anything you want to do. You must check. If I venture into this profession, you make research, you check. For those, any entrepreneurship, anything you want to enter, look at it. Then when you've decided, you've done all your plans, then implementation. Then in the course of chunking out your implementation, implementation also have to have strategies. Then after that, monitoring. You have to get the feedback. Am I doing well?
Excellent.
Should I change or not to change? So if you are able to see it at the beginning to that end, you will surely make it. Be focused, be sincere. Sincerity, integrity. That's a big word in Nigeria today. Make sure you get, you can't get everything right. Just as he said, employers, some just sit down there and pull down syndrome. They are pulling others back. But when you plan well, remain focused, hardworking, you have your integrity intact, of course, your limit is beyond the sky.
Japa, Japada. I had Abike Dabiri in one of the meetings I was with her, and I laughed when I had that. Since you mentioned it, your parting shot on Japa and Japada, what do you think with entrepreneurship?
To me, I always say to people, there are opportunities in crisis. And there is an opportunity in this country. That is a slogan I always use. I say, Nigeria is owing me. I have a friend like that. We're all in this country. So we have a lot of friends. We're like 5. A lot of them, they've traveled out indirectly. Whenever we attack them, blah, 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 I'll say, come, don't be talking abroad. Come and talk at home here. That's what we know here, man.
Excellent.
I say, we have seen ourselves from. So there are opportunities in crisis. The only opportunity, you can only see it when you are committed. You can only see it when you're focused. You can only see it when you make failure fearless. You can only see it when you limit yourself to circle of people that are dogmatic and they give you joy. And you can only see it when you have the right spouse. I'll say this, 75% of your life is being determined by the spouse you choose. So for the younger generation coming, I'm giving them this tip. Be intentionally greedy with your vision. Make your vision your obsession.
Beautiful.
Just make it your obsession so that your glory can shine. Don't stop.
It's amazing. It is, if I am allowed, this session will not end. But as you can see, we have a lot. Hoping we have to get our time to bring them back. Take this from me, from everything we've said and my own pattern shots. I have 4 eyes, like I tell people. The prism with which you see life, seeing opportunities in crisis, seeing helping people as the right thing to do without expecting, planning, having integrity. What did you see when you listened to us? The prism of life is your prison. What do you see in Nigeria? Andrew, no go check out. Nigeria go better. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Achievement on the Achievement channel. It's been an enriching conversation on how purpose can turn careers into platforms for change. A big thank you to our guests, ESV Jumbu Amayebo and Mr. Chris Ogbaisi, for sharing your journeys and wisdom. Let's continue this important conversation. Follow at Achievement Channel on Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, and YouTube for more achievement programs and updates. Use the hashtag We See Possibilities and share your thoughts with us. Until next time, I am Martins Oloye, reminding you, don't just chase success. Lead with purpose and let your life be the inspiration someone else needs.
Hello and welcome to Achievers Book Club on the Achievement Channel, Nigeria's first and only 100% motivational TV station, broadcasting from the School of Eloquence studio here in Ikoyi, Lagos. I am your host, Sarah Erime Esekwe. Great minds are built by great books, and this is the show that brings the most powerful ideas from best-selling titles to life, helping you turn knowledge into action. Today, we are diving into a vital conversation, the art of the lifestyle shift, transforming your mind, body, and business. We are exploring how determination and self-belief can help anyone rise above their obstacles. Joining me to discuss the roadmap to a total life transformation is a powerhouse guest. She is an award-winning photographer, entrepreneur, and author of the life-changing book, Lika's Lifestyle Shift. Please welcome the creative director of ClickArt Photography, Lika Ahunsi. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome to the show, Lika Ahunsi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I trust you're doing great.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we're just going to dive right into the questions now. So the first question I have for you is now the 4Fs framework. In your book, you introduced a unique framework for change called the 4Fs, right? Yeah. Which is fitness, food, fashion, and facials. Most health books only focus on the first two. So why was it important for you to include the outward elements like fashion and facials as part of a deep internal lifestyle shift?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Funny enough, I've never been asked, but so let me give a bit of background, how the book came into existence. Okay, so it was during COVID. We're all stuck at home. The need to work out kind of became a thing because people were getting bigger, just staying at home, not feeling like they're doing any activities. So before then, I used to just post my workouts and stuff like that. And I don't know, I would say more people were engaged, pretty much because we were now stuck at home. So I think that increased the engagement on my page. So one day I decided to do a live, and it was just a ask me any question. And based on that live, in fact, then I don't know if it's still the case because I don't really do lives anymore, but after an hour it cuts off. So after 1 hour, I had to start all over again because people were like, I still have questions, you've not answered my questions. So it was so engaging, it was amazing. So majorly the questions, because I was taking notes on the questions I was asked and answering as much as I could during the live. But I realized that most questions revolved around these 4 Fs. So people asked me questions about my diet, what I was doing what I did to lose the weight, and what I have done or had done at the time to keep it. There was also a lot of questions regarding what kind of workout do I do, what are my schedules, and how is it possible to do this workout or still be active with my lifestyle shift, even with my everyday life, right? So that already answered the 2 major ones, which is fitness and food. Then I got a lot of questions about my outward look. So if you check the book out, I'm going to be referring a lot to the book.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. So in page 16, in page 16, there's this picture. there's this picture here, and you could see how dark I was there, and how my skin tone had changed. So a lot of people just going through my page, watching my videos, were like, your skin has started glowing. Like, what did you do? What are your secrets? What facials do you do? Because you don't seem to have a lot of breakouts. You know, when I tell people that I'm over 40, it's very difficult to believe, because they're like, you don't have wrinkles, this, that. So as much as I would say a lot has to do with we like to call it my parents and my background. But I also do a lot with facial care and skincare to also be able to give tips on that. So I decided that I didn't want the book to just be your regular fitness book. I just also wanted to make people see a bit about my journey and my story. And that's why I even called the book my name, Lika's Lifestyle Shift, like the raw data on everything I have done and all the changes I have made to be where I am today, which also included fashion changes, knowing what fitted my body type and stuff like that. So advising people also on fashion tips, colors that fit you. Some people just wear things randomly and they don't even really appreciate why they use the color tones that they use. So just giving a bit of information on fashion, what fits the different body types that we have, and colors as well, what colors that complement your skin tone. So so that's why fashion and facial became really important to put that in the book.
That's amazing, because it's not enough to just lose the weight. It's important that your body all round, what you wear, how you appear, your skin, that's amazing. That's good. And
Everything
honestly,
is
you do
intertwined.
not look like you are 40. Above 40, right?
Above 40. Let's put that caveat there.
That's amazing.
Above 40. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, that leads us to the next question. You've described this book as a raw and inspiring journey. Yeah, you just talked about that. It's your personal lifestyle. Right? You open up about very personal topics like family, grief, mental health. Was there a specific chapter or memory that was particularly difficult for you to write down? And why did you feel it was necessary to share it with your readers?
Okay, so it's still even quite difficult to talk about. I lost my dad last year.
So
and thank you. And that's what led to me doing a revised version of the book. Because I wrote the book during COVID, which was roughly 5 years ago. And when he died, I decided to do this revised version because I wanted to add a bit more information on managing grief. Because I realized that a lot of people are so insensitive to, insensitive to understanding what grief is and how people manage it differently. So talking about losing him was also kind of like my love letter to him, right? How much he meant to me, how much he helped me in my own journey. My dad was my biggest cheerleader. He was the one that would see one fitness tip and send it to me. He was always sending me forwarded messages of different things to do, different health decisions, nutrition, and so a whole lot. He was an inspiration for fitness. I have never known any time that my dad wasn't working out or just constantly taking care of his weight. So it was really sad for me the way he died, because he just slumped, right? There was no, he wasn't sick or anything like that. And what even makes it a bit more challenging is that he slumped doing what he loved the most. He was playing golf. And I talk about that in my book. If you go through, so I call that managing mental health. Okay. So managing mental health starts from page 29. And so basically a lot of the talk around this chapter is about my dad, about his journey, about how much he made me love fitness, how much he was into fitness, not just even only fitness, but nutrition. He was very particular about what he ate. So for him to die the way he did, it was really difficult for me. It took me over 3 months for me to get over it. Like, for me, no, of course I'm still not over it, but for me to go back to the gym, because for a long time I was just like, hey, this man did it all and he just slumped and died. No explanation, nothing. So why am I stressing myself? Why am I doing this fit life, right? So there were a lot of questions I had to ask myself, and also,
is it worth it?
Yeah,
should I go back to
should I do this? What's the point? I could just slump and die. So what am I telling people to do better? You know. So writing that particular chapter was very difficult, because I asked those questions even in the book, like, what do you people think? Like, how do you get over that? And I would say I'm still not over his loss. I don't know if I'll ever be. But in the book also, I speak to people who are experiencing similar loss and how they can manage it. I realized that when finally I was able to go back into my routine, I gained a lot from it. I could use that as a way to just release that my energy, tension and sadness and stress. Right, especially with taking walks. I never really liked taking walks. I thought it was a very slow pace workout. But I realized that in this time, that's what I needed. I just needed something really easy. So I would just take those walks and listen to like motivational speakers and just try to put myself in a headspace that it's life, this is what it is, right? And just try to accept not having him with me anymore. Yeah.
Wow. I'm really sorry about the loss of your dad.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, it's important that we understand how to grieve, because most times when we have such a sudden loss, most people tend to express their grief in different ways.
Yeah.
That most times they don't even come out of it. Like, for instance, what you explained about how you started asking questions: is it worth it? Should I go back to? There are most people that at that point, that's the end.
Yeah.
They now begin to
can never,
eat. They overeat unhealthy meals and they become fat again, and they just lose everything. Right? That's amazing. Okay, so that also leads us to the next question. The subtitle of your book is Discover the Pathway to a Lifestyle That Changes Everything for You. In the early chapters, you talked about teenage struggles with weight and confidence. What's the biggest lie you believed about yourself back then that the process of writing this book finally helped you debunk?
Okay. Okay, so I would never really say that I was not a confident person.
Okay.
But I always kind of struggled with weight, like my weight gain. I was never, if you read the book, I was never a skinny child. I was always chubby. And I have a sister, like my immediate elder sister, who was always skinny. In fact, we were like opposites, so she was always skinny. I was always the one that was bigger. And so you refer to us and you can easily refer to me as, the chubby one, right? So will I say it bothered me as a child? No. But as I got older, it became a thing, right? Guys, started liking boys from the age of 15, 16, and you're like, okay, how do I look? So I think it was at that point, and just before I was going into university, that it became a bit important for me, or I became conscious of the way I looked, and it mattered to me how I looked. So yeah, I talk about that in the book, and how I started starving myself because I wanted to lose weight. Right? And so, not to give a very long answer, but I would say that I kept doing different things at different points, trying to lose weight. So I would lose the weight, gain it back again, lose the weight, gain it again, because I think that in my head there was this part of me that felt you're supposed to be fat or you're supposed to be big. You're not, your body is not structured to be a certain way. I also have lines around my neck, and when I put on weight, it's like the first part that just becomes really chubby, my cheeks. So my facial change is the first thing you notice when I lose weight. So sometimes I even look bigger than I am on the scale or generally, but just because my face would always have that big look. So because of that consciousness, I would say, it made me always feel that. So I think what I would say I was afraid of is putting the weight back on.
Okay.
So it took me 5 years from when I lost the weight. I lost weight primarily around the last quarter of 2015. Oh. Yeah, so let's say it took me 6 months to really be comfortable with my weight. And let's say in a year, so in 2016, that's when I felt I was where I wanted to be, weight-wise. I was toned out. I had done the work. But in 2015, I'd already lost a significant amount of weight. Okay. So I think my fear really was, okay, what do I need to do to remain like this? So even when I initially would post things, I was still very scared to post because I always felt, what if I gain it back? So I think my fear was not about just being like indecisive or not sure of myself or a bit timid. I was never that person. I was someone who had like self-care or, you know, appreciated how I looked. But I think my greatest fear was the weight coming back.
That's maintaining what
maintaining. So that's where the lifestyle comes from. So it was until after 5 years that I had stayed without the weight, which was, you know, supposedly now COVID year. That's when I was ready to speak about it, because I felt, okay, now I'm where I want to be. And I have been able to do this 5 years. So it means that it will take a lot to get me back to the Lika that I was before. Of course, it helped my self-confidence. It made me feel much stronger, even if I think I already had self-confidence, but it definitely boosted me to be like, oh, you've done this for 5 years, you can do another 5 years. And now this is the 10th, 11th year really, since I started, because I started in 2015. So it's already 11 years since my journey, and I now even play around with my weight. Sometimes I gain weight purposely because I want to do a particular kind of thing with my body or something like I am so much in control now
of you.
Yes, that I would say that is the thing I've been able to change. You know, I've been able to get to a point. Do I still get scared once in a while? Yes. You know, I just told you about my dad and that fear of me just losing interest and just saying what's the point, and you know, just going back to relaxing, and that fear of losing it all, like just going back to being chubby and big and just, you know, like you wrote a book, like what's wrong with you? Why do you look like this? You know, so those fears, they are there. They would remain there, I guess. But I think I just consistently put in the work because it has become my lifestyle, that I do not really see it happening. But you know, never say never.
True. So it's not just about the losing weight for you, it was keeping it, right? Consistently.
It was that where the lifestyle
came about. All right, it's been an amazing time with Lika. Let us go on a short break. We will be right back.
Are you in governance?
You need public speaking.
Are you in business?
You need public speaking.
Are you a professional?
You need public speaking.
Now you too can learn how to overcome nervousness and speak with confidence before any audience at the School of Eloquence, the home of public speaking.
Attend our practical and training one-on-one coaching with West Africa's only certified speaking professional at any of our centers in Lagos and Abuja.
To register, call 0802 3032 066 or 0706 1606 078 or log on to our website schoolofeloquence.org. School of Eloquence,
Teaching the world to speak.
Welcome back. Okay, Lika, so the next question I have for you is this. You write that this book is more than a guide to weight loss. So for the reader who picks this up and is already physically fit but feels mentally stuck or unfulfilled, what does Lika's lifestyle offer them in terms of mindset and resilience?
Okay, so first off, for someone who is already physically fit, that's one job already done. So kudos, be happy, you're already doing well. As we already said, it's more about a lifestyle shift. So it's not about just losing the weight, but keeping it out. And also the health benefits of not having weight. That's so not just having fats, excessive fats in your body. So for that mental shift, I would say a lot of it comes from confidence as a person. There are some people that even after they have lost the weight, they just still look at themselves and still feel, I'm not good enough. I'm not, I don't feel that I'm good enough. So in my book, I talk a lot about self-care.
Okay.
The last chapter, in fact, I'm going to just read something very quickly. I said, always remember that, so that's page 83, always remember that self-love is not the same as selfishness. After COVID, that's when I decided that I was going to travel more. So every year, I always try to do one personal trip, just me. Because for me, it's a way to just balance all my emotions and just find a way to live in the presence. So that's for me. Travel was the thing for me. For other people, it might be something that they have just put, as I said in my book, on the back burner. Decide what it is that gives you even that anxiousness, because some people suffer from anxiety. So what is it that causes that? And just find a way to say, okay, I want to be better. I don't want this to be an issue anymore. You're already looking good, right? So you've done the work. So what are those other things in my life that brings me down? What are those things that I'm not comfortable with? And you start making that mental change, intentional change to be like, I want to be better. Mm-hmm. So that would be my advice. I would say that self-care, don't always have excuses. People say, my family, I have little kids. I have a friend who would put her baby on her back, put the other one that is a bit older on a stroller, and she will take her walks, right?
There are no excuses.
No excuses, just make time out of no time. So yeah, so when you're able to have some structure in place and you see it's working, that can start even helping your mental health. So it's that mental health of deciding that you matter, you are enough. And I speak a lot about that in the book. So it's not about just the fitness change, it's about a mental change.
All right, amazing, amazing. So one of the best parts of the book is that it's packed with practical tips. If a reader could only implement one strategy from your book this week to start seeing a difference in their life, which one would you point out for them?
So I like this question because people even ask me this. So what I will say is the first step, and even for my clients, because I have people that I train from time to time, and the first thing I always tell them to do is the water detox. So if you go to page 64, you will see the water detox is explained a bit in detail, so you know what it has to do or what it means. A water therapy would help you to just cleanse your system, right? It would help you in a whole lot of ways, and there's like an explanation there of what it entails. So if you could do just one thing, that's what I would tell you to start off with. Detox.
Okay, so the book is an invitation to stop holding back. When you were sitting down to write the final pages of this book, who was a specific person you had in your mind's eye? Who is the one person that needs to read this book right now to start their own next chapter?
Anybody who is just struggling with weight loss, anybody struggling with mental health, especially when it relates to your outward look. I think those are the two people I would say should read this book. If you are struggling, especially the second person, you're just struggling with being comfortable in your skin. Just being comfortable with who you are, read this book, because that's my story. You know, my story, it really explains how when I made this decision for a lifestyle shift and kept to it, how it affected every aspect of my life, because there was just this boost of confidence that I could achieve anything. And I think that's the person I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to that person that is struggling with being the best version of themselves. They are just constantly questioning, constantly, please, let's do that together. Read Lika's Lifestyle Shift and make that change and start believing in you today. Thank you.
Yeah. So Lika, how can readers get this book now?
Okay, so the easiest way to get the book is through my Instagram page. If you want a hardback copy, the revised version, because the revised version is quite new, so you can get the revised version if you send me a DM on two of my Instagram pages. The first one is dedicated completely for the book. It's LLS, so Lika's Lifestyle Shift, so LLS_fit_life. That's on Instagram. There you see tips on workouts, you see so many information there. The other one is just at Lika Ahunsi. With those two pages, you send me a DM, we can arrange for book sales everywhere, all around the world. Then for soft copy books, we have ebooks on Stella. You would also see the link on the Instagram page. So yeah, with those two platforms, I guess you can be able to get the books. The old version of the book is still available on Amazon. We haven't been able to put the revised version there yet, but we're working on that.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Lika.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's an amazing time we've had, and we want to thank you for writing this book because it indeed would help a lot of readers struggling with weight loss and even mental health. So thank you, viewers. One of my take home is self-care is not selfishness, okay? So it is important that we put in the work no matter the things that happens. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. What an incredible, raw and insightful session we've had today. We've learned through Lika's journey that a true lifestyle shift isn't just about the physical. It's a commitment to self-love, resilience, and a total transformation of the mind. A big thank you to Lika Ahunsi for reminding us that we have the power to stop holding back and start creating the life we've always dreamed of. Pick up your copy of Lika's Lifestyle Shift and begin your own 4F journey today. To our viewers, remember that the books you read today shape the achiever you become tomorrow. Don't forget to follow Achievement Channel across Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for more transformational stories and expert insights. Use the hashtag #WeSeePossibilities to join the conversation. I'm Sarah Erime Esekwe, and this is Achievers Book Club. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing, and keep seeing possibilities.
Hey, this is Habiba Balogun, Chair of the 11th Champions of Talent Development Conference by Learning and Development Network. Shout out to who? The Achievement Channel.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tayo Luwole, and I want to say a special shout out to the Achievement Talent. You guys are doing great things, and you are really inspiring us with most of the content you are churning out. And I am proud to even say that you are our partner in progress with some of the things you are turning out. Thank you very much.
A new day dawns, full of possibilities. Take the first step towards your dreams. Empower your mind with positive thoughts. Achieve more. Make a difference in someone's life today. Impossibility is nothing.
Welcome to the Achievers Book Club. I'm Sarah Undu, and I'm thrilled to be your guide as we delve into the pages that inspire, challenge, and propel us towards greater achievements. Broadcasting live from our School of Eloquence studio here in Ikoyi, Lagos, we believe that within every book lies a world of possibility waiting to be discovered. Today, we are not just reading a book, we are engaging with a timeless classic, a blueprint for success that has transformed millions of lives across generations. Our book in focus is the legendary Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, published in 1937. This book distills the wisdom of successful individuals of Hill's era into 13 powerful principles. It's not just about financial wealth, it's about achieving anything you set your mind to, and it continues to be a cornerstone for anyone striving for mastery in their lives. This book teaches us that true wealth begins in the mind. To help us dissect the profound principles of Think and Grow Rich, we have a very special guest in our studio today. He's an icon in the motivational space, a true beacon of inspiration, Mr. Motivator. Welcome to the Achievers Book Club, Mr. Motivator.
Thank you very much, Sarah. It's good to be with you.
Thank you. You're welcome. So we're going to dive right into the book. So Napoleon Hill begins with desire and emphasizes on a definite purpose. He says whatever the mind can conceive and believe,
That's right.
it can achieve. How crucial is this concept, especially for Nigerians navigating our unique landscape of opportunities and challenges?
Absolutely. You picked those two words very intentionally. The Nigerian space, opportunities, lots of opportunities, but again, we have a tremendous ton of challenges. Nigeria could not have provided us with a better testing ground for the principles from Napoleon Hill's books, because it first highlights the importance, the central idea of thoughts being things. We must have a vision, we must have dreams, we must mentally prefigure what we want, and then says, once you've thought about it, you now need to fuel that engine with the power of your desires. So how can Nigerians navigate all of this? First and foremost, no matter how challenging the Nigerian space is, it must never stop you from dreaming. No matter how challenging the Nigerian space can be, it must never discourage you from thinking out of the box. Because in as much as we have so many challenges, inherent in those challenges are the opportunities. So for instance, there's electricity challenge in Nigeria. There are also challenges in the area of education. There are challenges all across. Take business, for instance. Solutions to business is transportation. All of these are problems. How do you create solutions to those problems? By thinking. Someone thought about the idea of delivering meals. Rather than people going through the stress of visiting the fast food restaurant, someone came up with an app and said, okay, Glovo, for instance, is an idea. Chowdeck, for instance, is an idea. Why? Because those ideas were designed to surmount the challenge of accessibility. And today I read somewhere that in Ibadan alone, through Chowdeck, a particular amala joint, there used to be an amala joint, has done a turnover in excess of ₦1 billion.
Wow.
That's Ibadan. We're not talking Lagos. It shows you that as challenging, who would have imagined that in Nigeria, as difficult as it has been, especially in the most recent of times, people will still order amala in Ibadan using chowdek. Somebody thought about it, saw the problem, but saw the problem, that challenge as
a vague wish. First of all, having a desire, then translating it into something that...
No, the desire comes after. Okay. First, Napoleon Hill's view is that as a man thinks, so he is, that we become what we think about, and that thoughts are actually very tangible. But sometimes those thoughts can't be triggered by the challenges in your environment. Sometimes that's the way they come. Sometimes you can independently, uniquely, on your own, conceive of an idea, conceive of a dream, conceive of a concept, and decide to go for it. In other words, Napoleon Hill believes that first and foremost, paint the picture of the world that you want to create. And after you've done that, desire can come in. There is no point having without a predirection. There is no point. I mean, you can imagine having a desire and you are in this vague environment. There is no clear direction to channel that desire towards. It will not make sense. So dream first, and then ignite the energy and the passion within you towards attracting or actualizing those dreams. In fact, the dream should trigger a burning desire within you to go for it. Hill does not, however, rule out the fact that in all of us as human beings, inside all of us, there is that innate hunger to be something special, to do something special, to achieve something exceptional. He doesn't rule that out. That's also part of the desire that we all have. But again, what is the essence of the desire if there is no vision, if there is no direction, if there is no expectation, if there are no goals? So that's why thoughts are things, and thoughts must start the process towards success.
Wow, absolutely. That's a great one, Mr. Motivator. Mr. Motivator, another powerful principle is the mastermind alliance, the coordination of knowledge and effort between two or more people for a definite purpose. So, in a society like Nigeria, where community is so central, how can individuals truly leverage this concept for achievement?
It is true that community is a very central part of Nigeria, but
Yes.
the way I look at how community works in Nigeria is that it is too social. Too social in the sense that if you're married, you have a family, and your mother lives close by, you can bank on her help to support you with child upkeep, for instance. If you're facing an economic challenge and it becomes knowledge to most of the people in your ecosystem, everybody bands together. That's fine. So it provides us with this, what I would call unseen social safety net. That has always been the traditional African approach to community. But Napoleon Hill is saying to us in his book, Think and Grow Rich, with reference to the Mastermind Alliance, that now is the time to elevate beyond the social capital of community to mental capital of collaboration. So you see that it ties us back into the first principle, the central idea about thoughts, thinking, visioning, developing that mental capacity. To say, look, imagine the fact that you enjoy the support of your siblings because they live close by or they live within the range of support for you. They can be there to help you socially. There's a wedding, everybody bands together, we all go there. There is a crisis in the family, someone is willing to stay off work and be there to sit in, and all of that. Just imagine that we enjoy all of that, and we become so closely knit at that communal social level. Think about the exponential value that we could all derive, especially in adding value, creating economic possibilities and great wealth, if that synergy was a mental one.
Absolutely.
was a mental one. Your knowledge, your inspiration, coming, collaborating with mine. So what would have taken me 2 years to do, we cut the time and make it even shorter and faster to accomplish within 2 months. That is the essence of Hill's view about how we can truly be communally successful. In other words, nobody actually succeeds alone.
True.
Success requires partnerships. It requires collaboration. In fact, if I may borrow from John C. Maxwell's book on leadership, it talks about the dream and the team to realize the dream. No dream can succeed or materialize without the support of having a team. So the concept of a mastermind alliance is saying build your own team. Find people of like minds. That's the point. People of like minds. Even the book of Proverbs says it. He that walks with the wise shall be wise. Iron sharpens iron. Find people of like minds and then ally. Ally with them, associate with them, build partnerships, share what you know and learn what you don't. And in that way and manner, because there is a common interest in success or in succeeding, we can aggregate and compound the effort of thought, of ideas, of insights, and reap the benefits in far more exponential manners than would have achieved alone. But the key is, are we thinking in the same direction? Are we thinking the same concept, the same principles? Do we share a collective disposition towards how to become more successful, more productive in life? That is what that alliance is about. So I encourage Nigerians to collaborate more. I think we see a lot of that amongst the musicians. They call it collabo. They collaborate more, and you can see how it's helped many persons or many musicians, artists would never have learned about, but they collaborate. So it's not just collaboration in terms of, okay, somebody is higher up there, so I want to just latch onto them so that I can derive some advantage to lift me. You can also contribute. It's a collaboration of collective contribution. Not you being a leech. Not the opportunistic mentality of using others, of riding on the crest, on the wave of others, but saying, I come into this with some value. It might be from my experience or my expertise or exposure, whatever it is. And you come in with yours as well. But think of what we can create together. So we've got to think more in terms of that. But let's transform that capital from our social communal support system and begin to make it look more mental, more ideas-centric, ideas-driven. That will make a world of a difference.
So, Mr. Motivator, it's not just about networking, but having a strategic, purposeful collaboration with people.
There must be an intent towards it. Why network if you won't, one, be bringing value into that space, and secondly, if you don't share something in common? There's got to be some kind of alignment amongst all the parties coming together.
That sparks a lot, Mr. Motivator.
Absolutely.
Okay, Mr. Motivator, no journey to achievement is without its challenges, especially in our dynamic environments. Hill dedicates an entire chapter to persistence.
Absolutely.
What does true persistence look like? How can we even cultivate it when things actually get tough?
That's perhaps my best chapter in that book, the one I love the most, persistence. I particularly love it because it was a statement from Brian Tracy, one of my good old friends, that inspired me to go take a look at that chapter again. Brian Tracy makes a statement many years ago, and I stumbled on it. He said, anyone that persists and persists and persists eventually succeeds. That inspired me to go take a look at that chapter again, and I grew very fond of it. Now, you're talking about how can we, or what it takes to be persistent,
especially in this kind of environment. Number one, believe very well in what you have set out to do. That's non-negotiable. Don't have feelings for it. Morph the feelings towards your idea, your vision, your goals, your dreams into commitment, meaning that you have mentally resolved. No negotiations. I want to build this business. No negotiation. I want to go into this partnership. No negotiation. I want to write this book. No negotiation. I want to study this course. I'm over 60, but no negotiation. I want to go for my master's degree or go for my first degree. Because that resolution is key to bolstering you, strengthening you for the setback you are about to encounter, because you will. That is what opens the door. That is what necessitates persistence. That is what necessitates persistence. You must first and foremost resolve that, wait a minute, I've made up my mind. I'm going to do this. It means that there'll be good days and there'll be bad days. There'll be days you feel good about it. You feel hippie. Wow, today was a very good day. I felt so fantastic about it. I felt so great about it. There'll be those days. But there'll probably be many more days where you feel so cold, so downhearted, and just wonder, come on, I don't really feel up to it today. But it is that resolution, that resolved mind, that made up mind that will pick you up on those days when you don't have any feelings that are good and upbeat about your goals, your visions, your dreams, your aspirations. Why? Because you've laid the foundation of persistence by resolving from the beginning. So when we resolve, we are effectively shielding ourselves, preparing for challenges of setbacks, discouragements, difficulties, because our mind is already made up. Okay, so there's a difficulty, that's fine, we're not going back. Let's find a way around it.
Being flexible.
Absolutely. Or let's find a way through it, underneath it, above it, or let's ask for additional hands. You watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. When you get stuck, they give you lifelines. They tell you, you know what, phone a friend, or try your 50-50, or ask the audience. There's got to be something for you to at least summon to engage that setback in order to keep the journey alive till you get to the destination. And that is also the case. Recently, we've had very difficult economic challenges, significant downturns across the entire space. But I've seen so many people who have continued to pursue their visions, continued in spite of the difficulties, in spite of the inclement weather, in spite of the challenges of people. You're running a business, you employ people, they are proving to be a challenge, proving to be difficult, and then some people leave. You've got to go back and rehire. That's persistence for the business owner. You hire and rehire and fix the issues. You keep it going until the business gets to where it is stable, it is profitable and productive. That's persistence. You failed one of the diets in your professional exams. You go back and retake it. You failed, you go back and evaluate what happened. What did I get wrong? What did I miss in the last one that I can fix in the subsequent one? You see, it is not your emotions that will carry you through those moments. It is that disposition that you resolved from the beginning.
The resolution. Yeah.
Absolutely, from the beginning. That is why Napoleon Hill's work, the first chapter is so central, because it deals with the mind. Thoughts are things. If you don't get that right from the beginning, it will make it very difficult to apply most of the other principles in the book, because the mind then sets its course and says, this is my commitment to success, to achievement, to making it in life, to being the best that I can be. And so, come what may, I'm able to get back in the game after I've taken a beating, and I continue, make the necessary course corrections, and keep on going until I get to my destination. So in the Nigerian context, for me, the most important value that can help anyone deal with the challenges in terms of how long they can hold out till they reach their desired goals is to first conclude that, hey, this is for real, I'm going to do it. And then as you face challenges, anticipate the challenges. You're into sales. Always anticipate there will be no's. You anticipate many more no's than yeses. And so when you get a no, let it motivate you, let it fuel you to go back and figure out, why did they say no to my proposition? Okay, if this was the reason, then you're learning. Give up. That is the mentality, and we can apply this. Everyone can apply this across all fronts of human endeavor.